Hey, this is Russ. Hey, I'm back out on the road again. This is actually the same day that I took out the Rambler Premium to test out the hill climbing ability a second time. Yeah, I dropped that bike off and picked up this one. We were talking about the Zebra on that video. I said, hey, I haven't taken the Zebra out in a while. Let's take it out. I figured today would be just as good as any other day. I mean, it is about 70 or so degrees out, so it's perfect weather for it. And I didn't ride that much on the Rambler, so I said, yeah, I can go out a second time. Why not? Yeah, I'll make a second video all in one day. So this is a totally different experience riding this bike compared to the Rambler. This is a hub motor with a cadence sensor on here, so if I were to pedal, I'd be just fine pedaling this bike and moving really fast. So I think doing the other bike, I wasn't going very quickly, but that's okay. I mean, not every bike needs to be fast, right? So in this case, I says, well, I want a little bit more speed. I'll take the Zebra out. The Zebra will do, I think, 24, 25 miles an hour. Let's take the path. We'll take a left turn here. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on the Zebra, so it's about time to take it out. The Zebra is a lot of fun to ride. It's a big bike. Yeah, it's a big bike. It's a step-through design, so anyone really could ride this within a certain height range. Of course, I don't know exactly what it is. I don't memorize those things, you know. You could always look it up on their website. It'll tell you, the Himiway website. But it's a fairly heavy bike, though. Yeah, it's not a lightweight, that's for sure. But yeah, I've always said that this thing's built like a tank, and it is. Brakes are still squeaking. Every time I take this bike out, I think within the first initial pulls, I still get some brake squeal. Let's hit the brakes a little bit more here. We'll kind of bed in the brakes a little bit. You guys ever bedded in your brakes? You should consider doing that. Bring it up to, say, 15, 18 miles an hour, then hit the brakes. Don't let it stop, okay? Just kind of let it roll through. Do that several times. That'll just kind of deposit some of that brake material onto the rotors. I think that's good enough. I mean, I've bedded this in before. It's just that sometimes when it's been sitting around, it seems like it needs it again. No big deal. It's part of bike maintenance, part of things that you have to do. So yeah, if you've never bedded in your brakes, you might want to consider doing that. And the one that squeals all the time is the rear brake for me on this bike. It's never the front one. It's always the rear one. Now, I've had people ask me before, should I be just using the front brakes or just the back brakes? Use them both. Use both brakes, okay? Brake both at the same time, even pressure. Yeah, especially you do not want to do just front brake only. You go flying over your handlebars if you stopped hard. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But no, use both your brakes. That's why you have two brakes. Yeah, use them both. So I have the front headlight on, which of course turns on the rear tail light on this bike. Thank you. So when you pull on the brakes, the tail light will blink on this bike. Otherwise, it's solid on. And of course, the headlight's on at the same time too. And we're not going to go too far today. I just felt like taking another bike out on the ride rather than just doing the one bike and calling it a day that quickly. You know, I have to take advantage of what I can at this point. You know, the weather is decent now. You gotta go out and do it. and it's just going to get colder over time. Although it does show that I think it said next week we might even be back up to the 80s again. So weather goes up and down this year. It's hard to predict where it's going to be. But I think the weather has really affected our rides quite a bit this year. If it wasn't for heat, it was poor air quality from the fires happening in Canada coming down all the way down here to the Chicago area. Yeah, it's been a little of everything this year. It's been very, very difficult for a lot of people. And I know you guys have been affected too by various things. If it's not that, it's a hurricane or something. I mean, it's been crazy this year. It's been a very, very strange year. So yeah, get out there and ride when you can. We don't know how many more days we have of it. I mean, even something like this, to this ride, okay? We're not going anywhere special. We're just gonna go around like we always do. Yeah, still get out there. It's worth getting out there. Okay, so we got this bike coming here. Let him through. Then it'll be our turn to go through. And yeah, we give them the head nod. They gave me a head nod. Overall, in general, most of the people around here, pretty nice. Yeah, we have some pretty nice folks out here. Most will give you a smile at least or something, you know, as you pass. Not all of them. Some of them kind of keep to themselves. Some of them don't, you know. A nice lady gave me a wave. She waved at me before I acknowledged her. So, yeah, that's how people should be, right? If everybody was nice, yeah, it'd be more interesting. I do hear the cicadas quite a bit now as we're riding around. If you listen to any of my videos, you can hear them. They're loud, man. This is around the time of the year when they start doing things, so. Yep, noisy things. They're big too. Have you ever seen these things? They're big. They got big orange eyes. I should find a picture and put it up. If I remember to do it, I'll do it. If I don't, oh well. You can look it up. You can go to Google Images and type in cicada. See what you see. Scary. Those things are big. They don't do anything to you, but they're just big and scary looking. I remember the first time I ever heard these cicadas. We had just moved to the suburbs. I'd never seen or heard of one before in my life. And I was riding in the bike path. Yeah, the North Branch Trail, for those who are local. I was riding in the bike path with my bike. I was probably like maybe like a freshman in high school or something. I go, what is that noise? Then I started seeing the bodies of these things on the ground. And I'd be like, oh man, those things are scary looking. It's like a locust. No, okay, but you know what I mean. It's big. And they're noisy, and they land on you sometimes. Yeah, but then I was told that, you know, they're kind of harmless. They don't really do anything to you. They're just out there making tons of noise. All your peace and quiet are gone from the bugs. People were still talking about the bees that were around me, and that I didn't really flinch too much. Okay, I kind of swatted a couple of them away. I didn't swat them. I just kind of moved my arms and hands just to get them to move a little bit. But yeah, if you're aggressive to them, they'll be aggressive to you. Just let them do their thing. They land on you. Then they move on. At least that's what I've noticed. Yeah, none of them stung me. A couple of them landed on me. Unlike dogs. Dogs are always trying to get me. Yeah. Dogs are always trying to get you. So the Zebra, as you might know, I actually changed out the stem on this particular bike. It was a while ago that I did that. And that brings the Zebra up higher. Now, if you find that you're leaning forward too much on a bike, that is one option. I have an adjustable stem on here. And that brought the height up and kind of angled it towards me a little bit. Not much, but a little bit more. Yeah, it made the bike a lot easier to ride. For me, that's my preference. I know some other people too, I've seen some other reviews where people mentioned the same thing, that they felt that they were leaning forward too much on the Zebra. Yeah, just get another bike stem, right? He had good momentum, so I figured I'd let him go. He was moving pretty good on there, so yeah, I didn't want to stop the guy. Let him keep going. I've got power to move, no problem. Yeah, see, if I feather the brakes lightly, I get the squeal. If I hit it hard, no squeal. That's no big deal, it's just brakes. We don't need that, right? Yeah, you need your brakes. You want your brakes to work well. But the squeal is no big deal, really. It's not a real big deal. It's if it wasn't stopping me and it was squealing, then I'd have an issue. Yeah, that stops me pretty well. All right, where are we heading? Let's take a left at this street and let this car go past me first. Oh, that car, the other car did a U-turn. Yeah, it's kind of a weird place to do a U-turn. Yeah, people do weird things, I guess. So yeah, if you pick side streets that are not very well traveled in the sense of having a lot of cars coming down, it makes it a lot more fun. You know, this is residential, so obviously it's usually just folks who live in the area or maybe passing through or something. It's not a lot of cars. Find streets like this to ride on. Yeah, you don't need to have a bike path all the time, but it is fun to do with the bike paths, right? People like it. You go through the forest preserves or something, and ride along the paths. Okay, but I seem to have less hassles being on the street, really. Pumping my brakes a little bit, trying to get that squeal out of there. Yeah, maybe I need to change the brake pads or something. I don't know. But yeah, find yourself some streets that are like this. You know, all you're gonna get is some stop signs, you know, some people coming down the street. That's about it. Yeah, it's not a problem. Busy streets, yeah, you might want to avoid that. Especially if you haven't done streets before. I don't even like them, and I do streets quite a bit. Yeah, gotta find streets that are easy to go down, not ones that'll put you in danger or anything like that. Yeah, the thing is, you know, with this bike, because it's got so much power behind it. I mean, you can feel it the minute you hit that throttle. You can feel it. First time I ever rode a bike similar to this would be my very first bike. It was a Rad Rover 5. I couldn't believe the power I had on that bike. I mean, I'd not ridden a bike in a while, but I remember, you know, the speeds that I would ride at, and then I was like, whoa, this thing is just taking off. I think that's the very first thing people notice on their e-bike. When they hit that throttle or they pedal a little bit and the pedal assist kicks in, it's like the feeling of, wow, this thing is really moving. Everybody who does it just gets a smile on their face, either that or just a look of terror. A look of terror how fast they're going. You know, the thing is, you get used to it, okay? But the very first time, you're either terrified or you're smiling from how much power you have behind you. You hear that squeak? Yeah, see, I'm really working this brake, and trying to get that squeal out of there. I don't know. Got to do something. So yeah, every time I lend a bike to somebody for them to try it, and look at them at the first time, they all have that look. A look of terror or a look of surprise. And then they come back and then they come back and tell me, wow, that thing's got some power. I go, yeah, it does. And they haven't gone that fast yet. They haven't hit it all the way. Recently, one of my friends, she brought her neighbor to pick up a bike from me. And so after her neighbor rode the bike, she took it out herself, and then she rode it a little bit. And then I gave her one of the other folding bikes, and that one does more power, obviously. So she took it to its max. She cranked that thing up. She goes, "Wow, I'm flying around with this thing." Yeah, you can really move on these things. So that's the thing. You got to experience them once, and once you've experienced it, you end up saying, "I want to try it and go even further, go a little faster, right? See how you do." Yeah, she took it out there. She was zipping along. Came back later. She says, "Yeah, I took this over 23 miles an hour." Yep, we're doing 22 right now. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but you gotta be careful, right? You gotta be careful with your riding. It's good to test it out, but you know, until you're totally confident on it, you know, don't go crazy. You gradually build yourself up to those levels. What are we doing here? We're doing about 20, just shy of 25. Hit 24.9. Yeah, this bike does not do 28 miles an hour, but if you unlock it, you can do about 25 on it. All right, where should we do it? Let's turn here, and then we'll head back. Wow, people have got their Halloween decorations out already. It's like a big fake spider web. Wow, already? It's only September. It's only September, and they got Halloween stuff out already. The thing is, some people get into it, and so they decorate their house on every occasion they can, right? Some people go overboard on Halloween. We don't. I mean, we put some basic things out, but we don't go overboard on it. You know. Yeah, we used to take my daughter right, when we used to take her out. Yeah, she had stuff like you know, Cinderella and all that kind of stuff on. We didn't put her in any of this demonic looking things. Yeah, we're not into that. So, but we did put her in like the Cinderella stuff, and then we take her to the mall. I remember we were still out in California at the time, you know, and she was a very, very little kid. It was just safer and easier to go around the stores in the mall, and the mall encouraged people to do it. They have a certain hour or so that they designated for kids to come and go from store to store. So, and they don't give you the best candies, you know, cheap stuff, but kids don't care. They get whatever, they're happy with it. So I guess when you get older, that's when you go, where are the big candy bars? Where's all the good stuff? Yeah, little kids, they don't know any better. They don't eat it all either. The parents steal it all. Did you steal your kids' candy? All right, admit to it if you did. Put it in the comments. Did you steal the kids' candy when they weren't looking? Which candies did you take? All right, anyway, I just wanted to take this bike out a little bit. I appreciate you guys coming along on the ride. Hey, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Let me know what you stole for your candies from your kids. I'll talk to you guys next time.